In this video, I'll show you how you can create an authentic looking vintage pirate treasure map in Affinity quickly and easily. I'm Jeremy from the Artifacts Forge, and I'm going to be using illustrations sourced from real vintage nautical maps, along with grid patterns, map border brushes and textures from our Pirate Treasure Map Maker toolkit. The fastest way to create realistic looking pirate maps in Affinity. Click the link below to get the pack now and follow along. Let's get started. I'm working in Affinity 3, but the pack is also compatible with Affinity Designer 1 and 2. I'm working in a 300 dpi CMYK document that measures 1820 by 1214 pixels. I've already loaded the map illustrations, which are saved as an Affinity Assets library, the pattern styles, and the brushes. Now I'm going to place a vintage parchment texture as a background for the design. And I'm scaling it to fit the document. Next, I'm going to use a nautical border brush to add an outer border. I'm creating a rectangle that's the same size as the document and using the align function to position it centered on the document. I'm now using the contour tool to shift the edge inwards. I'm pressing the bake appearance button to make the change permanent and applying the border brush to the shape by clicking the brush icon on the Path Brushes panel. I'm hitting the Scale with Object tick box and adjusting the stroke width to 6.8 points to make the border thinner. When using brushes on shapes with right angled corners, there will always be one corner which looks like this. To fix this, I'm going to select all 4 corner nodes and hit the Break Curve button. This leaves 4 separate border sections. I'm now overlapping each line at the corners. I'm holding the Shift key as I drag to ensure that the lines stay straight. I'm adjusting the border colour, then saving the colour swatch for later use. I'm grouping the border sections. Then using the same technique, I'm creating an inner border. The rectangle is 1214 by 516 pixels. I'm using the align function to center it and then nudging it up very slightly. I'm applying a different border brush, ticking the Scale with Object tick box and selecting Butt Cap, and setting the stroke to 7.5 points. I'm converting the shape to curves, splitting the border into 4 sections with the Break Curve button, then overlapping the corners. Then I'm grouping the border. Next, I'm adding a box at the top of the border. It's 648 by 57 pixels in size. I'm centering it horizontally on the page with the align function. Applying an ink outline brush and setting the stroke width to 2 points. I'm now removing the overlapping section of the outer border by adding and then selecting 2 nodes, hitting the Break Curve button, deleting the unwanted section and adjusting the end nodes slightly. I'm next adding a similar box at the bottom of the design by duplicating the existing shape, adjusting the width to 214 pixels, then repeating the same process that I did with the first box. Next, I'm going to flood the main map section with illustrated sea texture using a seamless pattern which has been saved as an Affinity style. I'm adding a rectangle, then applying the pattern by clicking a style icon on the Styles panel. The sea texture can be scaled using the Fill tool. It can also be rotated with the same tool if required. I'm now altering the map shape to fit with the border. And using a second shape to erase the central section using the subtract button. I'm going to add more textures later, but it makes sense to add the illustrations first. You'll see why later. As mentioned previously, the illustrations have been saved into an Affinity Assets library. There are ships, islands, sea monsters, buildings, trees and more. To add an illustration, simply drag it from the Assets panel into your document. Rotate and scale it as required. Supplying the illustrations in this way makes the process of building a design really quick and easy. By default, the asset thumbnails are quite hard to see, and that's why the product includes a quick reference PDF. Use it to cross-reference the names on the asset's thumbnails with the clear images on the quick reference file. There's a second way to create islands and also shorelines. The pack includes dedicated shoreline brushes which allow the user to draw custom islands. There are two versions of the brush, one for closed shapes and one for open shapes. To use a brush, select the Path Brushes tool, choose a brush by clicking an icon, set the stroke width and draw. Path brush strokes can be reposed after drawing using the Node tool, so you don't need to get it right first time. As you can see, some of the islands and shorelines overspill the edges of the borders. To fix this, I'm going to crop them with a copy of the sea texture shape. I'm removing the texture from the shape, grouping the islands, then on the Layers panel I'm dragging the group icon into the shape icon. If trying this at home, be sure to drag into the name part of the icon, not the image thumbnail. Now I'm going to add some ships, monsters, mountains, buildings and trees by dragging them from the Assets panel. I'm now going to crop the overspilling illustrations using the technique I used previously. and I'm going to group the illustrations. You'll probably have noticed that the sea texture overlaps the islands, ships and monsters. To fix this, I'm going to remove sections of the sea shape using Affinity's knife tool. If following along, be sure to choose Always in the Auto Close knife tool settings. Simply trace around the unwanted sections. This will create two separate shapes, and delete the unwanted shape. This is the most fiddly part of the whole process, but it doesn't take long. And I just spotted a mistake. The shoreline is facing the wrong way. To reverse the direction of a shoreline brush, select the drawn shoreline with the node tool, then hit the reverse curve button. Now I've adjusted the sea texture to fit with the illustrations, I'm going to duplicate the sea shape and add a nautical grid texture to the copy. There are 7 different grid textures to choose from in the pack. I'm scaling the texture using the fill tool. I spotted another mistake. I cropped the mountains badly here, so I'll enlarge the crop shape to fix it. I'm also going to enlarge this building. Next, I'm going to add some texture to the edges of the larger islands using the Earth Dots texture style. I'll first draw a shape using the pencil tool, then apply the style, and adjust the size of the texture. I'll repeat the process, adding more textured shapes. And now I'm merging all the shapes using the Add button and automatically applying the texture in the process. I'm altering the opacity to 50% to make the texture a little more subtle. That's the main design finished, and it's time to add some text. I'm using a font called Hanley. This is a paid font, and you can find a link to it in the description below. But if you're looking for free fonts to use with the pack, the download includes a list of where to find free vintage fonts. It's time to flood the design with an ink texture. As you'll see, this step really maximises the level of authenticity that's achievable with the pack. To add the texture, I'm first grouping the entire design, excluding the parchment texture. Then adding a rectangle which covers the entire image area. And switching to the Map Ink Texture Styles on the Styles panel. Then clicking an icon to apply the ink texture to the shape. I'm using the Fill tool to scale and move the texture. Then on the Layers panel, I'm dragging the design icon into the thumbnail section of the texture icon to make a mask, and setting the layer blend mode to multiply. As an extra step, I'm adding a subtle inner glow to the parchment texture. And as a final step, I wanted to show you that you can edit the design after the ink mask has been applied. And this is a good job too, because I used the wrong version of the font for the words pirate map, and I forgot to add some other small typography details, so I'll just add those now. That's one of the greatest things about Affinity, it's rarely too late to make adjustments. The finished pirate map took under an hour to make at full speed. Head to artifactsforge.com to get the pack and try it yourself, and save 20% with offer code TUBE20. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and follow our channel for more Affinity tips and tricks. Thanks for watching.